Hi, I'm Stefan from the German band Vulture. You're listening to J0KeR's Electric Circus on Metal Messiah Radio.
Why so serious, son? It's DJ J0KeR in the house.
All right. What's happening, my metal friends? Welcome to another Friday night interview edition of the Electric Circus radio show brought to you by MetalMessiahRadio.com. We are your metal music messiah tonight. I got a special guest on the line with me. We have Stefan Genözider, guitarist of German speed thrash metal band Vulture. They got a new offering out today, Friday, May the 21st, 2021, via Metal Blade Records. The name of the new album by Vulture is called Dealin Death. Lyrical themes by Vulture is metal, murder, and horror. Previous offerings by thrash metal band from Germany, Vulture, in 2017, they had their first full-length album called The Guillotine. Then in 2019, they had a full-length album called Ghastly Waves and Battered Graves. And now here in 2021, as I said, Metal Blade Records released Vulture's third full-length album called Dealin Death. All right, welcome Stefan from Vulture, a speed thrash metal band from Germany. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the Electric Circus.
I'm fine, hi. Thanks for having me.
So please tell us about the band members and how long have you all been together as a cohesive unit, as a band?
We started out in 2015. We started out with Andreas on bass guitar, Leo on vocals, and Mattis on guitar, and me on guitar, obviously, right away. We knew each other way before. In late 2017, Gerion joined us on drums. Yeah.
Many of the good names for metal bands have already been taken, but you came up with a very nice one. Who suggested it, the band Vulture name? Where does the inspiration come from for that name, Vulture?
I don't know anymore who brought it in. Maybe it was me. I can't quite remember. The only the only rule we had in mind when we came to picking a band name was it's got to be one word. We don't want a black death whatsoever combination of words or satanic blah 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 of blah blah blah. So we wanted one straight word to sound catchy, and we were just like looking for names that sound cool in the end, and we picked Vulture, and that's basically it. There's no big story, no big meaning. Vulture sounds cool. The logo looks great. It looks right, nice in the written form. So we just stuck with it.
Yeah, it's a very nice and catchy name, and it's perfect for a speed and thrash metal band name. Awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, you guys of Vulture, each member has a unique stage name, I take it. What does those names come from? What made you want to choose those names? I think it's cool.
Yeah, I partially think so too. It's maybe something a little naive here and there, but it's kind of the like more or less traditional thing for German young thrash metal bands. Like when you go back to the 80s and look at bands like Sodom, Creator, Destruction, they all had like this stage name thing, and we thought it was quite cool, so we just picked it up and went with strange band names.
So please tell us about the newest offering, Dealin Death. Tell us about the making of the album and how long did it take you guys to record it?
The making of the songwriting part was very comfortable and very natural right away. It didn't take us that long to write the record. We felt a lot of pressure when we wrote its predecessors, the record before. We felt a lot of pressure, not only time-wise, but also like we felt the need to, we have to perform on this one. It's the first on Metal Blade. Let's not fuck it up. And this time we freed ourselves from all these thoughts and let the energy and the creative energy flow. I think that's something very promo-ish to say, but it was like that. And I think to our terms, you can really hear it on the record. Everything is very natural and very comes to the point rather a little sooner than on Ghastly Waves. The recording itself was done in a 10-day session, I think. Yeah, 10-day session in a great studio here in Dortmund. Yeah, that's about it. No big story behind it. We hit the studio right like 1 or 2 or 3 weeks before the first measures were installed here in Germany. So we were very lucky with that time period. Yeah, and recorded 10 days, 12 days per day. Alex, who did the recordings, I think he didn't like stand up once per day. He just sat behind the desk, hit the rec button over and over again, and then it was midnight. He got up, went to bed, and did the same thing the next day. That was he's like a machine, and that really helped us to fit the time schedule, because 1 or 2 more days would have been better.
What are some of the topics you guys are writing about with some of the new songs?
Yeah, it's a lot of stories and horror movies we're into, like the title track "Dealing Death." You can also see that on the rather obvious cover we are having. Is about the great Edgar Allan Poe story, "The Pit and the Pendulum," or like more about the movie adaptation from 64, 65 with Vincent Price, The Pit and the Pendulum. So this niche we kind of found for that record, or also like maybe before that record, but that's something we explored on this record. So it's old movies like The Pit and the Pendulum, the Caligula movie, Hammer Studio movies about the Gorgon, old movies, old horror stories, some typical thrash speed metal stuff. That's where we feel comfortable at.
Who did the cover art for the album, the new album by Vulture, Dealin Death?
It's from the same talented hands as all the artworks before. It was done by Velio Josto, an Italian artist. He's in the same kind of movies and stories we are into, and he's the perfect match when it comes to like recreate the image we have in our minds when it comes to artworks. He's doing the very best artworks, I think. This time he even he managed to like get the ideas straight away. I think like the first sketch he sent to us was more or less the finished artwork. Yeah, Velio Josto, Italy, great artist. Check him out.
You guys have Malicious Soul's official new video single. Tell us about it and the location of that video and who produced it and who directed it and where was the location of it?
The video was shot in a backline rental service where our drummer Gerion is working at. So we got that for a little small price. Yeah, there's like a little stage you can rent, and there we like placed all those marshals. Didn't have to carry them that far because they are being rented there. So we had a lot of marshals, a lot of artificial spider web, some I don't know. We wanted to create a sort of gothic-y horror aesthetic scene, and I think we did that pretty well. We took some footage of an old horror movie called Nightmare Castle that fits that atmosphere as well. It was shot and directed and all the other names by a guy called Adrian. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Gutsche, I think. A great guy from Bielefeld in Germany. He's working at a company who's doing movie stuff, I think, for like bigger numbers than we are, but he was a great choice. He did a great job, and he's quick and easy and nice to work with. Yeah.
How did you guys get hooked up with Metal Blade Records? What was it that made you guys want to go with them? What did they do best for you promoting this new album and signing you?
The signing came together because I think Andreas, the A&R, who's responsible for Metal Blade here for us, saw a show of us at Hamburg, and he was hooked. And but of course, it took some years to write to us. I think he wanted to see how our first album is coming across. And then we simply got a mail, said yes, and were booked. We're having a great relationship with Metal Blade. Andreas, the guy I just talked about, is like living, I don't know, like a kilometer away from here. We're seeing each other quite often, have like friendship going on, have the same idea of what metal is about, and that's something we're profiting of big time. And the promo so far we're doing for Dealin Death is amazing. We're doing much more interviews, getting much more comments than with the last record. We're happy to see this kind of reactions. It's nice to be busy for the new album, because right now usually we're just either at work or at home, and it feels nice to have some distractions, do interviews, and be finally, to some point at least, can be busy as a band again.
Stefan, what do you do for a job to support yourself outside of being in Vulture?
I'm a social worker.
Nice.
I studied social work, finished that 4 or 5 years ago, I think 4 years ago, and I'm working at a I don't know, company. It's kind of a house where children come after school, like children who might have some problems in school, come from a difficult background, and at our place they can learn to learn proper behavior, not in the way of you got to do this, you got to do that, but like get a natural touch to themselves. We're working a lot with the parents and try to establish violent-free parenting to some degree.
That's very good. You're working with young kids and everything, and helping them out and everything in society.
Yeah, I love my job. It's a great job I'm having.
Okay, next, Stefan, let's play a new track off the new album, Dealin Death by Vulture. Let's spin Malicious Souls, which we just talked about the video. What is the song about here? And we will be right back with Stefan of Vulture.
Malicious Souls is about some unknown entity entering your body, taking control over you, and make you walk among the living, among the undead headbangers.
right, my metal friends, welcome back to Metal Messiah Radio, and we're back with Stefan of speed thrash metal band Vulture from Germany. Okay, please tell us about the music scene coming up for you in Germany. How is the reception of the band locally in Germany and around the world through the band's history so far?
Yeah, I think we're getting great responses, may it be from Germany or from all across over Europe. I think we got most fans in Germany, on the one side, of course, because we are from Germany and know many people from the scene, but on the other hand, because we also played the most shows over here, I guess. So most responses we're getting are absolutely positive, but of course there was also people who don't seem to like Vulture, but that's perfectly fine. I think every band has people that don't like their band.
What inspires your band Vulture the most these days, musically speaking?
Like musical influences, like?
Yes.
For this record, it's so uninteresting because I just listened to a lot of Slayer, a lot of Sodom, a lot of Dark Angel, like all those obvious influences. But looking through our history and all other or different approaches we're having, there's a lot of classical metal vibe going on. We're getting a lot of hints and ideas from Merciful Fate, Judas Priest, Accept, all those classical bands that somehow also made the obvious bands we thought a lot about the fact what made Metallica turn it up like this in '83, or what did Exodus listen to in order to be able to write a record like Bonded by Blood. And that's an approach we use to try and get a more unique sound, and that worked out pretty well.
Stefan, how did you get started in the beginning? What made you want to be a musician and play guitar and be a speed and thrash metal band?
When I want to start, when I was starting in very early age, like when I was 9, I got my first stereo along with Deep Purple's Made in Japan. That was my first contact to heavy music. Mm-hmm. In the same year, my parents thought it was a great idea for me to play drums, as some sort of anger outlet, I guess. I thought it was like a more parenting approach behind it, rather than to support my musical interest. That didn't work out as planned because I didn't feel like it, but like a few years later I wanted to do it myself, and that's where it started for me. When I was like 12, 13, my sister got a boyfriend, and he was playing in a metal band that inspired me a lot, and he got me my first CDs, and along with that, the first one I had in my hand was Eternal Devastation by Destruction, and that somehow sparked this huge fascination for thrash metal for me. Ever since I listened to metal, I listened to mostly to thrash. So that's going on for 16 years now, and the interest does not seem to get smaller, rather the other way around, get bigger and bigger and bigger. And here I am, still liking the same 10 records and playing the same music. That's for me myself. That's feeling great to have found something. I don't want to sound like trashy, but to something you feel home in music wise, and that's definitely thrash metal for me.
Awesome. Stefan, what can you tell us about your guitar and your mic, and are you subject to brand loyalty, or will you play whatever is available? What made you choose the guitar you use now? Was it cost, style, a model, brand, color, or a preference?
Yeah, when it comes to instruments, we are huge posers, and we choose looks over performance. So we're picking the bloody red ones. May it be the Destroyer guitars from Ibanez we used all together, like bass guitar for our records before. Right now we got ourselves red Mockingbirds from BC Rich. They look amazing. When it comes to guitar tone, so far we're using the classical Marshall amps with distortion pedal and tube screamer put in before. Right now, to be honest, we were thinking about using camper amps. This is some new technology thing where you can like recreate a sound and you don't have to worry about it anymore because you just like plug in the amp straight into the PA. And because we got a lot of responses that live our guitars sound shitty, and I guess they are all true. We are not like the biggest brains when it comes to sound design, and to avoid further frustration live, I think we're going to switch to this more modern approach to sound design. Yeah.
Vulture has did tours before. Please tell us about the experiences and some cool stories about touring, and what is your favorite countries and venues to play in?
When I think about Germany, my favorite venue is the Cassiopeia in Berlin. We played there like 3 times already in this short amount of time, and every time the people were going crazy. It's like a placed in a very scenic part of Berlin, and there is all kinds of people coming together. Maybe like people should just like come by randomly, or absolute metalheads or punks, and everybody's in the audience going crazy. That's amazing that you don't see that too much in German audiences. In heavy metal concerts, there's a huge amount of people always like standing there and checking if you're playing well, and you don't get that at Cassiopeia Berlin. That's why I love it so much. When I think about like stuff we've been through together, the first show that pops up in my mind is the second show we played with Gillian together in Sweden at the Abyss Festival, like a huge place. It was crowded as fuck with many great people that went absolutely crazy. That was a great response. Same I felt in London when I've been to England for the first time. The time we spent together in Greece when we played Up the Hammers Festival in Athens was absolutely amazing. The concert itself was horrible, but the time we had there together as friends was absolutely amazing. I think when I think about the best moments I spent with my friends in Vulture, I'm thinking about the Athens time. Yeah.
So when you guys are performing live, what's the energy like, and what kind of Vulture show do the fans get from you guys performing live?
Yeah, we're trying to reproduce the energy we create on our albums live as well. We are very energetic, very fierce, trying to transport the energy over to the people. When this is happening and it functions, we are very much thriving on the energy we're getting from the crowd. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think Vulture concerts can be very, very good.
Where do you see your band Vulture in the near future? Your goals to where you want to be as a band, and do you have any gigs or tours or anything lined up after this COVID pandemic is over, where people can tour again?
Yeah, for the last 2 summers now already, we had like 7 great festivals booked, like alongside with Wacken and Summer Breeze and Keep It True. So this would have been 3 festivals that it would have really made the big next step for us, if you can say so. But of course, that all didn't happen and won't happen anytime soon, I guess. We got some ideas for once this thing is over, but that's nothing to like actual go out and plan already, because we thought about staying more responsible, stay healthy, take care of ourselves and other people around us, and that won't work out on a metal show, right?
So what are you doing in your spare time when you're not touring and everything? What are you doing to keep yourself busy? Maybe working on new offerings by the band?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We did a demo tape already a few weeks ago. We recorded 3 new tracks. I'm currently mixing them, sending them over to our producer to get mastered, and we're trying. Maybe we're gonna thought about doing some tapes for friends, and maybe we're gonna do this even one more time. And a part of that, I'm happy that at least football is taking place, so I got something to watch. But that's the most exciting thing that's happening in our lives right now.
Please discuss, Stefan, how you interact and respond to the fans in social media.
We are all responsible for all the platforms we're having. So maybe Facebook or Instagram. I guess that's the two things where you can find us. We're doing these ourselves. Try to answer every comment, every message we get. That works out pretty well lately because we're having a lot of time on our hands, obviously. Yeah, we're trying to stay interactive, but we're not trying to be like social media clowns doing a little bit too much here and there. We're trying. I think it's a thin line between being interactive with your fans and friends and being over the top and the Facebook algorithm is gonna get you when you post one more thing today. So we're trying to walk on that thin line.
What is your thoughts on the music industry today, especially thrash and speed metal?
The music industry of thrash and speed metal. I don't know if there's a huge industry behind this. There's a lot of great bands popping up here and there. And there's a lot of great bands that established themselves playing the kind of music we do, like, I don't know, Our Noir from Sweden, Necromantion from Norway, sorry. Our Noir from Norway, Necromantion from Norway, Antichrist from Sweden, Division Speed from Germany. There's a lot of great bands around. They're all kind of set in the underground to some degree. I think this is where the music we're playing belongs. On the other side, I think it would be great to get this, out a little more, like get a glimpse out of the underground, like get noticed by people who don't know there is an underground. So maybe next time Creator is touring, or I don't know if Slayer would exist, or I don't know, like if next time Exodus is touring, they should probably think about getting Antichrist on the roster and not some shitty band that will fill the places.
What advice, Stefan, would you have to give to new and upcoming bands that want to do thrash and speed metal?
Yeah, try to find your niche before you release something. Try to get your own elements in the music. Don't copy paste. Think about all the aspects of being a band, like visuals, artworks as well. Don't do it if you're not 100% in, and never say stuff like, "Oh, this is only going to be a demo. We're going to do it. We're going to fix that sound issue with the record." Like first impression people get of you is the most important, I guess.
Please tell us where we can buy your music. Give a plug on your websites and tell us about the merchandise. Can we buy T-shirts and a physical copy of the new offering and all that?
Yeah,
good stuff?
you can. For the US, it's indiemerch.com, I guess, where you can get all the new Vulture stuff in pre-order. We got a lot of great shirt designs for this record. I think the US store only has one, a simple black and white one, but it's looking amazing. If you want a more specific artwork, you gotta check the European stores. It's Kings Road here in Germany. We've got a lot of different colors on vinyl. We got the obvious digipack. We got 3 shirts. These shirt designs, a nice sweater with printed sleeves, and the most gem thing in this in our release is we're having like a small package, and in there is a tape. With 3 demo tracks we did for Dealin Death back in 2019. We recorded them after some festivals and got them mixed properly, and now they're out on tape and they are only available in this bundle. That's something I'd get my hands on if I would be a Vulture fan, I think.
What are some of your favorite songs by Vulture you love playing and performing live with?
Deliver to Die from the EP is my all-time live classic, I guess. I don't like playing a lot of songs from the last records because they're too hard for me. There's a lot of songs I love to play. I can't wait actually to play the new songs live because I think they're going to fit that live atmosphere the best. I can't wait to play Count Your Blessings live or Gorgon. I think those are going to be the best live songs Vulture has to offer right now.
Since nobody can play live and do festivals and tours right now, do you see yourself? A lot of bands are doing the Facebook live concerts and everything. Do you see yourself doing that in the future until you can go back on the road and tour again?
No, not at all. We talked about that, and of course, we put it in consideration, but this wouldn't feel right, to be honest. Like playing in front of a camera and then hope that I don't know, like 20 people watch that shit. No, we're not gonna do that. A lot of people do it, and I've seen some, and it looked absolutely amazing. But that's nothing for us. We're gonna stay in private until we're able to do the real thing again.
Please give a shout out, Stefan, to some of your fans and fans to be. What would you like to say to them, and what would you like to say in closing that you haven't been able to say yet?
Yeah, I hope you're gonna like our new record. I think it's by far the best one we ever did. It's the best we ever sounded. Get your hands on your favorite kind of copy, and I hope one day when this thing is over and we're able to, we can thrash together in the US. That would be absolutely amazing.
Stefan, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you on tonight's show, Joker's Electric Circus, presented by Metal Messiah Radio. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for doing this interview with us. And the best of luck to you guys in Vulture in the future. And you're always more than welcome to come back on the show when you want to promote new music in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You're welcome. Stay safe and healthy.